If you've been through cancer, you know how grueling it can be. Sometimes it's harder to watch loved ones go through the disease than fighting it ourselves. It can absolutely tear apart relationships. However, you have to see this next story. It is an incredible story of how two people came together, all because of cancer. Aaron Goldstein has that.
All throughout Jeff Gruett's adult life, cancer has seemingly been waiting at every turn.
It started when I was 17. My mom had cervical cancer. They thought they got it all. It came back 4 years later, and it took her really quick. A few years later, my father-in-law had lung cancer, and he passed away.
And as if that wasn't enough, Jeff's best friend from high school was diagnosed with melanoma 2 years ago. He died 1 month later, prompting Jeff and his group of friends to take action.
We all made a pact with each other to get our skin tested. And I went in the following month, and I found a melanoma, and it was fairly early. But I owe him my life, because I would have never got it, never would have got checked.
Like Jeff, Alicia Coe is a cancer survivor too.
I was diagnosed July of 2008.
Alicia had thyroid cancer, forcing her to undergo multiple surgeries before finally getting a clean bill of health in February of 2010. But just as she hoped her life would return to normal, it took another hit. Her husband, Dennis, had been struck with cancer.
He just come back from a bear hunt, and it said his arm was numb, but then he started limping. I took him up to the ER. That's when they found it. He had a tumor in his brain.
Within a couple days, doctors determined that the tumor had spread to his spinal cord and colon. Surgeries, chemotherapy, and radiation followed, but Dennis's condition kept getting worse.
They told us either make him comfortable or go in and try one more time. And he's a fighter, so now we'll try one more time. And he went in for the surgery, and they did get it, but it paralyzed him.
Eventually, Dennis came home to spend his remaining time alongside those who loved him most. But for Alicia, there was one more problem. She had quickly run out of time off from work.
Some of my friends from work said, yeah, we can donate time. I'm going, that would be awesome.
She appreciated the small gifts that allowed her to spend some extra time at home with Dennis, but nothing compared to what came next.
My boss told me, she goes, I don't know who, but you have been donated a lot of time.
100 hours to be exact, from a donor who at the time wanted to remain anonymous.
I didn't want her to know, I just wanted it to be a gift.
Jeff Gruett, the man who had so much taken away from him, still had something left to give.
Her husband passed away, and when she came back to work, she found out who I was. We ran into each other in the stairwell, and she said, it was you, wasn't it? And I said, yeah. And she gave me the best hug I've ever felt in my life.
What a wonderful gift to get. I mean, the time was very precious. And I was giving him a hug and said, thank you.
Jeff and Alicia didn't know each other at the time, and they barely talked for the next 7 years after that. But earlier this year, that changed.
I think one day we just started talking. And I think it was based on that seed that was planted, the gift.
That seed grew into something more. And now Jeff and Alicia have been dating for 7 months.
I look at his life is short, and you need to enjoy every day of it.
If it weren't for cancer, we probably never would have met. So you could say there's a silver lining, you know, all the devastation that it does to people that are fighting it and their families, and then for something good to actually come of it, it's pretty amazing.